Welcome back, YouTube. It happened to be that my filament is almost done, almost gone. So I thought it's going to be helpful if I show you guys how to, unload it and replace with the new filament here. So let's start with turning on. And then you go to utilities and go to unload. So it's gonna heat up for uploading. Wait, make sure that you choose unload, because unload takes 185 Celsius, not 220. Yeah, sometimes this button goes different position and you push it, so accidentally possibly you choose a wrong menu. So be careful when you use this one. It's not happening all the time, but yeah, don't just make sure that after you push something, so make sure that you push the right menu that you want. So while it's heating up, it has to heat up and melt the plastic inside so that it can unload it. So while this is heating up, let me show you briefly and explain about the mechanism, the method. It's almost every 3D printer is same. There's a motor here that pushes the filament into the extruder, and some printer has this motor up here with the extruder. The downside of that is it's gonna make the extruder unit bigger, and if you have bigger extruder, but it takes more energy or force on this motor that moves this extruder. So I think it's better to have this motor up here, but one drawback of having motor at this point is that this much of filament after you're done is going to be wasted. But it's not that much when you use the 3D printer, so it's not a big of a deal. Only thing you have to understand is since this is the only force, okay, so it's starting unloaded. Okay, since this is the only force that is push up the filament in, if your filament is over, and if the end of the filament pass beyond this motor, and you have to know there's no force that can push that into the filament, into the extruder. So it's the exactly same even if you have the motor up here. There's this much of gap that if the filament is gonna, the end of filament past that point, there's no power that can push the filament in. So all right, so filament is all the way down, and you push the button again, and it's gonna stop unloading. So let's remove the old filament here. And make sure that there's no residue. It's like this really like a tiny, I don't know if you can see, it's already melt, and it's your motor is not going to push this thin residue, so make sure you just pull it out of the tube. So let's get rid of it and then get ready for the new one here. So this snipper is really handy. Here you cut it. Okay. You maybe cut here again. Okay. And it should go from bottom to up like that. Okay. So, and you just fill the hole down here with your finger and then put it in there. Okay. Later, maybe you better push it a little bit up. So let's go to the menu and push it. Go to utilities, push it, and then you better make it auto home first. Always remember that you put the extruder and the plate at its home position. The reason why is that if you have extruder here and the plate over here, and if you don't set it to the home position over here, when the filament melt and the things comes out, it's gonna accumulate on the plate, and if it's too close to that extruder, it's gonna stick back on that extruder head, and you're not gonna like it. So always make sure before you print and before you load your filament, makes it at the home position. Okay, it's home position, and push the bed all the way back, and then there's a load mode. You push it, and it's gonna heat up to 220 Celsius degree, and you don't have to push it, but make sure that filament goes up. Okay. So if you don't, if you have no understanding of that motor, and the filaments, it's over. When the end of filaments goes beyond this motor, it pretty much that filaments from here to there is going to be stuck inside the tube, and you have to, pull this tube out, and then you have to push it back with your hands. So you have to understand that. First time I was kind of, surprised why it's not coming out, and then I realized that only force is that my previous printer had that motor up here with the extruder unit, so I thought the force is going to all the way down, but after the end of filament passes that motor part, it's like about this much of distance, and it stopped coming out. And I had to, disassemble it and pull it with a tweezer, and that was kind of a mess. So after that, I'm making sure that I, replace the filament before all of them are gone, and the end of the filament passes that motor part. So, okay. Let's check. Okay, it's yeah, you don't have to push it, but I just want to make sure that it's going up. So you see that filament is going up here, right? Okay. So Wait until it's go all the way down. Be patient. Okay, I wanna turn the heated bed on. And I love this switch. I recommend you to have that switch. Okay. Yeah, another good thing about this printer, you can have all the tools down here because always there's a space. You not unless you print out really tall model. So I think it's about the time there should be something coming out. So let me show you. So your extruder, if it's not at the home position and it's in the middle of here, see, something comes out? No, not yet. Okay. In the middle, you're gonna see that the plastic. Okay, now it's coming out. Okay, good. All right. So now you can click it and stop. Okay, so now you're good to go, and that's how you replace your filament roll. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped. Thank you. Bye.